Spring, as if on purpose, didn't begin with warmth, but with this surprise. My son sends me a message. "Dad, get ready. You've got a ticket. I'm waiting for you in the south." At first, I didn't even understand. Was it a joke or what? I'd never flown in my life, ever. Trains, buses, no problem. But planes? Only ever seen them on TV, and not with much interest. Thoughts started crawling like mice in the attic. What if I get lost? What if I end up in the wrong place? What if someone asks me something and I just stand there like an idiot? But there was no choice. I went. Turned out it was simpler than I imagined. The key is not to rush and just do things step by step. First thing, check your documents. For domestic flights, a regular state-issued ID is enough. For international travel, you need a passport, and not just any passport. It must be valid for at least 6 months beyond your travel date. I might have missed that detail if my son hadn't pointed it out. "Check it, or they'll turn you back," he said. I made copies of both the ID and the ticket, just in case. Paper doesn't fail you when your phone dies, or the internet decides you're no longer interesting. The ticket part was confusing at first, too. My son sent it through a messaging app, and I just sat there blinking like an owl. What's what here? Name on top, flight number below, a bunch of digits and words. I double-checked everything. The name on the ticket must match your ID exactly, letter for letter. The rest, terminal, departure time, flight number, I copied down by hand. Safer that way. Paper doesn't forget. Phones are convenient but also tricky, so if you have doubts, print the ticket. Don't count on charging it last minute. You don't want to be running through the airport with wild eyes looking for an outlet. I decided not to get fancy with luggage, just one backpack. That's it, my carry-on. No suitcases, because checked luggage means lines, waiting, stress. Why bother? I'm not going on an expedition. In the backpack, change of clothes, extra socks, toothbrush. Anything else, I'll buy if needed. Speaking of toothbrushes, the airport has strict rules. No liquids over 100 millimeters. Doesn't matter if the bottle only has a few drops left. If it's over the limit, goodbye. They took my toothpaste, brand new, expensive. I was furious, no other word for it. Then come the scanners, people staring at you like you're a criminal, loudspeaker announcements no one can understand. But still, it's not a maze. Read the signs, follow the flow, don't panic, and you won't get lost. Important, don't show up last minute. 2 hours early is ideal. I arrived even earlier, and it was worth it. I checked everything, sat for a bit, even managed to drink some coffee. Bitter, yes, but in that moment, it felt like a reward. And the flight? Well, nothing special. You fly, look out the window, clouds like cotton, and inside, silence. Kind of strange. You're between worlds, cut out of everyday life. I landed, walked out of the plane, and everything was different. Warm, humid, like I stepped into another country. If it's your first time flying, be prepared. Once you leave the airport, it's easy to get disoriented. Everything moves fast, navigation signs aren't always clear. The key, don't panic. Just follow the crowd, and if you're completely lost, ask. That's normal. Everyone's been through it. My son met me and we drove straight to the border area that same day. If you're planning the same, remember, for some cross-border trips, your regular ID might be enough. But there's a catch. It should be in good condition. If the cover's worn out or the photo is so old even you barely recognize yourself, don't risk it. Border officers might turn you away. It takes about 40 minutes to get to the border without traffic. There are lots of cars, especially in the summer, so leave early, by noon at the latest. At the border, the process is simple. Show your ID, they check it, you pass through. No dog kennels like in the movies, just a gate, a booth, a couple of uniformed people, but they have their own logic. They don't smile, they don't joke. Best to answer clearly and not get too chatty. On the other side, it feels different. If you've never been abroad, it might feel like stepping into the past. Roads are rough in spots, signage looks like it's from the 90s, but people are friendly. Still, remember it's a different country, their own rules, like cell service. If you keep your usual SIM card, data charges will skyrocket. Turn off roaming or disable mobile data altogether. Better yet, find Wi-Fi in a cafe. After the border, a whole different country. If you've never been abroad, it might feel surreal at first. It's like stepping into a time warp. Roads might be bumpy, signs look like they're from the 90s, but the people are friendly. Just don't forget, this is still a different country. That means different rules. Let's talk mobile service. If you're using your US SIM card, expect roaming charges to skyrocket the moment you cross the border. Disable data roaming or shut off mobile data entirely. Your best bet is to hop on Wi-Fi at a cafe or hotel. As for currency, they often use US dollars, so you usually won't need to exchange anything. Prices are similar to what you'd find in a rural town: coffee, meals, souvenirs. But don't expect to pay by card everywhere. Cash is a must. Withdraw it before you leave the main city. If you're planning to stay overnight, choose a place with reviews and photos. Private rentals can look very different from the listing pictures, and always ask if there's heating. Even summer nights can get chilly, especially in the mountains. If you're making it a day trip, be honest about your stamina. The roads wind a lot, like real hairpin curves. If you're not used to that, motion sickness is almost guaranteed. Most importantly, don't forget your passport for the return trip. There have been plenty of cases where people lost it in a cafe or left it in someone else's bag. Without it, you can't cross back. No phone photos will save you. Also, bring water. You can't bring more than 3.4 ounces through airport security, but after the border, you can buy all you want. Heat and humidity hit hard, and dehydration sneaks up fast. Don't wait until you're nauseous. The next day, once I had time to settle in, reality kicked in. If you're not just visiting but planning to stay a while, be ready for the everyday stuff. It's the small domestic things that wear you down. Let's start with transportation. In many US tourist-heavy areas, public buses exist but run on their own schedule. You might wait 40 minutes, then 3 buses arrive at once. If you want reliability, rideshare apps are your friend. Uber or Lyft work, but prices jump around. A ride from the airport to downtown could cost you anywhere from $25 to $60, and more during rain or late hours. If you're renting a place, don't fall for listings that say cozy apartment by the beach. It might turn out to be a basement with a shower in the kitchen. Ask for a video tour, not just photos, and always check, is there heating or air conditioning? Even summer nights can be cold, especially near the mountains or in older buildings. Now, food. If you're traveling with kids or just want to eat decently, know that Mom's Diner might not match your expectations. Always check the place before sitting down. Average meals will run you about $10–15 per person if you avoid upscale restaurants. Grocery stores are everywhere, but don't expect cheap prices, sometimes even higher than what you'd pay back home, especially for seasonal fruit when tourists are in town. Water, another issue. Don't drink from the tap unless you're absolutely sure it's safe. Bottled water is your best bet, especially if you're staying outside the city center or closer to nature. Water can be hard or have an odd taste. Internet. Wi-Fi is nearly everywhere, but often slow. If you work remotely, get a local SIM card with a good data plan. You'll need your passport to buy one. Skip the cheapest plans. They often come with terrible speed. Get something mid-range and stable. Let's talk climate. Humidity can be brutal. Your clothes may take 2 days to dry if you don't have a balcony or a dehumidifier. If you're renting, ask whether there's a washing machine with a proper spin cycle and space to hang your laundry. And don't forget the meds. Don't count on finding everything locally. Prices at small pharmacies can be steep and not everything will be in stock. Bring your essentials, painkillers, something for your stomach, and definitely something for motion sickness. Those winding mountain roads are no joke, especially on tours or excursions. As for housing, don't try to save on everything at once, especially if you plan to stay for more than a week. And remember, price doesn't always equal quality. It's easy to end up in a place with a broken bathroom and windows facing east. Good luck sleeping when the sun hits at 6 a.m. Always ask, is there air conditioning? You'll need it in summer. Heating? Yes, even in spring or fall. And decent internet, non-negotiable if you're working. Listing photos lie. Ask for a video call or a full walkthrough video. Pay through trusted platforms. That's your only protection from scams. If you're dealing directly with the owner, ask for a rental agreement and read it carefully. Yes, seriously. And documents, don't forget them. Always carry your ID, especially if you plan to travel across regions or state lines. Sometimes you'll be asked for it. Health insurance, not a luxury, a must. Even a basic plan can save you a fortune if you get sick unexpectedly. Getting used to a new place takes time. At first it seems easy. Walk around, grab a bite, no big deal. But your body feels the difference. Mountain air, ocean noise, new food, all of it has an effect. Don't be surprised if you feel tired, get headaches, or become irritable in the first few days. Medical care isn't always like back home. If it's something serious, head to the biggest local medical center. Pharmacies are common, but they don't all carry the same stuff. Again, bring what you need. If you're bringing kids, The adjustment period can be even tougher. New food, unfamiliar water, different air, little bodies feel everything more intensely. Bring their usual snacks and any medications they're used to. It helps a lot in the first few days. Schools and daycares may not be an option unless you're staying long-term. Even then, enrollment takes time, paperwork, and often language support. Short stays, stick to family-friendly parks and cafes. Lots of tourist towns have great playgrounds, even if they're a little worn down. Weather can change fast. Sun, wind, rain, all within the same afternoon. If you're near the mountains or the coast, always pack a light jacket, even in summer. You'll thank yourself later. As for sightseeing, don't rush. Instagram might make you think you need to visit 5 places a day. In reality, 1 or 2 is enough. Roads can be slow, lines are long, and most local tours are deliberately unhurried. Leave room for naps, food breaks, and changes of plan. Avoid peak hours. Tour buses arrive at the same spots around 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. Early morning or late afternoon gives you a much better experience, quieter, cooler, less crowded, especially if you're traveling with kids or hate heat. Driving yourself? Good idea, but know what you're signing up for. GPS will get you around, but not all roads are equal. Some rural areas still have unpaved sections or narrow mountain passes with 0 guardrails. Stay alert, drive slowly, and don't take the shortest route if it looks sketchy. Also, don't rely too much on gas stations being everywhere. Fill up when you're half full. In touristy areas, fuel prices can spike and the next station might be 30 miles away. Local people are usually warm, open, and happy to help, even if they don't speak English fluently. A smile and a few polite words go a long way. Don't expect everyone to know perfect English, especially outside city centers. Google Translate is your best friend. Cultural etiquette varies. In some towns things move slow. Don't expect lightning-fast service. That's not rudeness. It's just the pace of life. Sit back, breathe, and enjoy the break from rush hour energy. Souvenirs? Skip the overpriced stalls near main attractions. Walk a few blocks away and prices often drop by half. Same item, different location. And here's something unexpected. Trash and recycling might not work how you're used to. In some regions, garbage is collected sporadically or only sorted in certain neighborhoods. Don't panic if you don't see a bin nearby. Ask your host where to toss things properly. It might be a walk away. Before heading home, check customs rules, especially for food, alcohol, or souvenirs made from natural materials. US customs can be strict. Better to check twice than lose that handmade gift at the airport. Coming back might feel weird. The pace, the structure, the prices, everything familiar might now feel slightly foreign. That's part of the travel experience. Let it settle. Give yourself a day or 2 to recover, especially if you cross time zones. Drink water, eat familiar food, and don't try to unpack your suitcase and your thoughts all at once. Some things will take time to process. Was it worth it? Definitely. Even if something went wrong, missed buses, language mix-ups, or a bad hotel room, that's part of the story. The more you travel, the more you build a kind of muscle memory for it. Next time will be easier, smoother, and even more rewarding. And if you're reading this because you're about to leave, take a deep breath. You've got this. Just remember, don't drink the tap water, keep your passport in your front pocket, and don't schedule 5 excursions in one day. You're not on a checklist. You're living a little differently for a while, and that's enough.